Hello, how are you, Erica and Safaree? So, have you had a reading before? I know you're looking at me full of skepticism. I'm used to it, but welcome.
I'm excited. I know who you are.
Thank you for being here. It's really powerful because you two are actually extremely compatible, Scorpio and Cancer. In astrology, there's way more than just your sun sign, though. And so we're gonna do a mix of an astrology reading and a tarot reading.
Okay.
Did you know that you also have a moon in Gemini and a Venus in Sagittarius?
I did not know that. So my moon is in Gemini and my
Venus, the planet of love, is in Sagittarius. And in terms of what that means for you, it means that life is a mix of emotion, intellect, and a lot of action in order for you to be stimulated.
Yes.
Now, in terms of Safaree, it's important for you to know that your moon sign, Leo. Your Venus sign, Leo. So fire is almost even more present in your life than Cancer energy, which is water. So we're gonna pull three cards.
What is this, Venus? Yeah,
Venus
moon.
and Moon are both in Leo, like
No
Barack
way.
Obama. Big boss energy,
Big boss.
clearly.
And he likes to call the shots, which a lot of people don't know.
Oh yeah, Leos are the leaders. Literally, Leo energy is ruled by the sun. So literally the center of attention, meant to take the lead. And also the biggest thing about Leo energy is to be careful about ego and stubbornness and pride. So we're gonna we're gonna see what that means.
Something in your throat?
Is there something? Well, we'll start with you. We'll start with you, Erica. You're gonna break the deck into three different parts to represent your sun, moon, and Venus. Split it into three. Awesome. Which one speaks to you for your sun reading? Okay, flip it. Wonderful. Justice. Wow, that's a good one. We'll get to the reading once you've flipped all of them. So your moon sign in Leo, your moon sign in Gemini. Oh, this is the Five of Wands. This is actually extremely Gemini energy. So we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
And then finally,
Jamaican
gosh.
flag.
Oh, no. This is good. 8. This is a lot of action happening. Okay. 8 of Wands. Okay, let's start with Justice. This represents...
Calm down.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so with Justice, when you see Justice, and you're a Scorpio, so this is huge.
Babe.
As a Scorpio, when I see Justice, there's something that you have to be willing to let go of that you might have kept a grudge on, pettiness, resentment. In order to move to the next chapter of your life and really feel those phoenix wings, it's time for you to be like, okay, I'm letting it go.
Oh, I'm believing this lady. What?
In regards to what?
Just everything.
Actually,
Everything.
Justice does actually, have you done this before?
No,
Okay.
but that's my philosophy about everything. Let it go.
I'm a Scorpio, so I stand my ground. I don't forget things.
Oh yeah, you don't have to forget. I'm glad you said that because even here in the visuals, you can see the imagery of the cats. They see very clearly and they're not gonna forget. They're perceptive, but they also know that if they hold on too much, they won't be able to see anything else. It's as if you blind your vision with the thing that you don't wanna let go of. So it's gonna take
Is
some
that
time.
with people?
In this case, justice has to do both with people and the situations you've created in your own mind.
Okay.
Yes, and
Assuming.
when I'm assumptions are a big Scorpio
Or is it
trait.
the experience you had with an individual?
I have to say,
And it's not really an assumption, it's just your experience.
so it's your experience combined with the assumption of what that experience will mean for the rest of your, not life, but near future. That's what we have to release.
Okay.
Yes, as Scorpios, we're extremely intuitive and self-aware and self-protective.
You see that? Intuitive, so I know. You should listen to me.
But at the same time, we have, just like we are the sign that has the greatest ability to evolve and be in this huge metamorphosis, we have to give other people that ability too. We're not the only one who's able to shed our skin and to, be a better person.
Okay.
Justice means there is a main theme in your life where if you dare to let go of your idea and attachment of what that story or person represents, you'll free yourself and you'll be free to see something new and feel something new.
All right.
I believe that. I'm so big on that. I'm just big on just letting it go. Live this life. Live our life. Let's just go.
So your Five of Wands moon card, when there's a Five of Wands, there are feelings of confusion. There are feelings of uncertainty. There are feelings of, am I kind of like on the right path or not? So this could explain any kind of limbo you might have been in, especially emotionally. Because your moon is in Gemini, you're being asked to look at the pros and cons of things and to also put yourself in the shoes of other people. So step out of your own perspective. See, even if someone has triggered something in you, putting yourself in the position to see, is there anything I triggered in them? It's not always easy to navigate the Five of Wands because sometimes your reason and intuition start battling each other. So what often this means is that if you need more time to figure out how you feel about something, give yourself more time, but don't let that limbo become paralyzing. Eventually, a decision must be made. And that is your Venus in Sagittarius. It's about being so in the moment and asking yourself, what do I want to feel in this moment? So in this card, you can even see there is a lot of darkness and depth, but look, once the decision has been made, once the clarity has been found, it all leads to the light. And so these wands right here indicate the other situations in your life that are ready to be healed in order for you yourself to feel aligned with who you are. So even if all of this darkness happened and existed, you can acknowledge it, you can honor it, you can mourn it, you can even mourn parts of yourself that have had to be surrendered to the darkness. So if you've had to like be alone or misunderstood, there are parts of yourself that people don't often see. But right now, what is being seen is who you want to be in this present moment, what your fresh chapter can be, what your new start can be, how you can rise from the adversity. What are you thinking, Erica? What are you thinking?
Know.
You know, I'm nothing to be emotional about. But I feel like this is something I talk about all the time. I say it to my mother. I say it to my sisters. I say it to her just for stuff. I'm like, all right, well, great, let it go.
But he's different. He's okay with just worrying about himself.
Leo.
And where it's like, you know, I'm not like that. I like worry about other people than myself.
But not even about worrying about other people, just like I feel
So
like...
it's easier for him not to feel things, is my point.
Nah, not even. I can feel things and be bothered.
Yeah, but he chooses not to like...
No, I choose not to give people that power to have a power over me.
Yeah, he's very
because when you hold on to stuff with other people, I feel like it's giving them a power like, oh, that means I'm giving you some sort of control in my life because you're altering my energy when you walk in a room or if I see
That's
you.
a great way to feel it or to think about it, but when you're so like into yourself and you're like, so you don't hold on to things where it's like someone has done something to you because he's like so, you know, into himself, he can let things go and like, where me, it's like,
So
I feel things more than he does.
Okay, so I'm glad you said that because that's often the assumption with Cancer and Scorpio, but what you would be very surprised to see is that actually Cancers have even more of an iceberg level to them. So what you see on the surface in terms of their emotion is nothing compared to what they actually feel. However, you are absolutely correct in your judgment of more selfish energy, but that's not necessarily bad. If anything, it can be something you can learn from. That's something through your partnership. We attract partners who are here to help complement us. And with the moon in Leo and Venus in Leo, yes, you will have to get used to the fact that there will be times where he can make things about him and move on when anybody is distracting him or taking his energy.
Which is good for me.
It is good for you.
He helps me a lot with like, oh, okay, like that's what it was, but this is what it's now. And even though you felt that way before, let's just kind of be in our now. But it's harder for me because it's like everything that I've ever had to deal with, especially in relationships, prior relationships, I've given so much of my all, and finally I'm in a relationship that exactly what I give, I'm getting, given back.
And are you able to accept that?
Yeah, because me knowing better now, it's kind of hard for me to kind of let go of what was done to me then.
Okay. I'm very.
It's just kind of like, damn, I finally got what I've always given to other people in my relationship. Like I would never like deliberately like hurt someone in a relationship or use something they wanted most or, you know, to hurt them or use those tactics. And I'm finding a relationship where I don't have to worry about being, you know, hurt.
That makes me think of the Justice card.
Yeah.
Karma. The universe is aware of what you've gone through. What you just said reflects itself in the Justice card. It's as if the universe has seen those struggles. It's seen a lot of the uncertainty in terms of, can I trust again? Can I love fully again? Is this for real, for real? And the universe is like, what goes around comes around. And so once you've asked for something and it comes, only you are the one who can fully accept it.
So
and
basically,
as a Scorpio,
all the years of me being betrayed and hurt is why I'm so lucky now.
well, one thing to know, appreciate and be grateful for it. But yes, a lot of the times you have to go through that deep darkness and literally shed your ashes like a phoenix, which represents Scorpio, in order to rise from your ashes and feel like, oh wow, I'm a manifestation queen. The one thing to be careful of as a Scorpio is self-sabotage. Sometimes we get everything we wanted and we still sometimes find reasons to look for what might be wrong or look behind our backs. This is not the time for us to do this. This year is not the time to do
I feel like she's
it.
pretty good with that.
Okay, that's really good. Yeah, there's no reason to self-sabotage. So I'm curious to see what your cards.
Yeah, well, let's see.
All right, let's reshuffle.
You seem like you know what you're talking about. And you know what I'm saying? Even with that whole like letting go and just holding on to certain things or people who may have done things, like there are people in my life who have done things and I could be somewhere and see them and them being there, it don't change my energy. I even say hi, what's up, where they're gonna be like, what the hell? They're
Not
gonna
me. I don't give handshakes.
they gonna feel weird because I don't feel like, oh, because you hear something's off with me. I'm still here with it. I'm icier than you. I'm furred up more than you. You ain't on my level and nothing, so
Exactly.
you gonna see me. And if I see you, you're lucky if I saw you, but if I did, what's up?
Well, this is
don't
going to
care.
make a very fun dynamic to your connection because you have the more extroverted, you don't mind being seen and letting them know, yes, I'm here, still shining, even though you tried hating. And then you,
Exactly.
it's interesting because you're
You
still
ain't
shining
hinder
anyways, but
nothing.
they're insignificant.
Yeah, it's like I don't want you in my orbit.
Let's see what the stars have to say. So you're going to split it into 3.
I follow her on Twitter. She really is
Yeah,
real.
boom.
Yes.
So split it in 2.
And 3.
3?
One for your sun in Cancer, the other for your moon in Leo,
Okay.
and the third one for your Venus in Leo.
Boom.
So you can pick the top card of each one,
Pick the
whichever
one
order
that
you
speaks
want.
to you first, and then go from there.
The middle is speaking to me first.
Okay.
Don't gasp or do nothing, okay? If I
All
see
right, I
nothing
won't.
crazy.
You good. That's actually a representation of you. It's interesting that he picked the middle one. This is powerful. It's very good. Wow. Wow. Oh, okay. Wheel of Fortune. Another owl in there. Okay, Ace of Wands. I see where the optimism comes from. So the Mother of Swords. Oh, I love when things like this align. So Cancer, you are a Cancer.
Yep, July
Cancer is very associated with fertility. It's associated with motherhood in the sense of you're close to people who make you feel nurtured, and you are able to make others feel nurtured when you have tapped into your own powers of nurturing. So when you've broken past, you know, what societally ingrained things about masculinity are, like you can be a man and still be sensitive. That's one of your secrets. As you're able to own your sensitivity, it actually increases people's love for you and they feel safer with you. The Mother of Swords is an indication, I think, of a nurturing but yet extremely forceful and perceptive female energy. And when I see mother, it means it's someone who is gonna literally be a ride or die, who knows how to calmly observe, but won't be afraid to attack if necessary. So it definitely looks like a representation of you who is
A damn,
carrying
owl
your
on a
child.
sword knife.
Literally, and look at that perceptive.
it's
It's like,
an
I
owl.
got you, I see everything, and don't mess
Mother
with
of
me.
Swords, by the way.
Mother of Swords. It's like, do not mess with me.
So that's just basically warning him that if he ever tries to do something stupid,
No, that's not what that's about. That's about you having my back, guy.
well, just know.
I would say, I
little of
would
both,
say it's a
right?
little of both, because the
Just remember
owl,
what yours is about and let them work on that, okay?
you have major protective energy in terms of this Empress that's in your life, and your little Empress that also, multiple
The baby?
Empresses. Yes. This is a representation of great omens for family-related ventures. It's like people, any kind of energy that's not meant for you, there's literally going to be a protective vortex. That, and you know what really affirms it? The Wheel of Fortune. This is one of the most positive cards of the tarot, and here's the owl again. So themes are repeating themselves. It's not a coincidence that you pulled this. Now, the Wheel of Fortune, so it's a whole bunch of interconnected webs. So in order to get to this fortune, it did not always take fortune. Once again, the darkness behind in the backdrop. And it's a type of darkness that isn't often seen from the public eye. That's why the sun is all the way at the bottom of the Wheel of Fortune. The moon is at the top. And so it indicates that you have to be willing to admit the shadow side of yourself that exists. It exists in all of us. As a Cancer, some of the shadow sides of Cancer can be passive aggressiveness, so seeming as if everything's fine on the surface, but not always expressing some inner angst or insecurities that exist. Because Erica is so intuitive as a Scorpio, she's able to pick up on your emotions without you expressing them. But one of the things
Definitely
that
no
will...
insecurities.
But one of the things...
It's like life stuff. It's not about you or how you look or your abs.
Yeah, insecurities are more. Like, for example, as a Leo, you probably, with the Leo moon and Leo Venus,
it could
be career, or even like
you got
having
married,
a very beautiful, attractive
that,
human.
and then you have
obviously you're good, but like it's normal. We're
fatherhood,
animals.
you might be a little nervous,
All right, cool.
being a husband. That's a lot of responsibility.
And as you're able
a stepfather. Think about it.
Look at her. As you're able to admit this to yourself, more fortune comes to you because you're able to tell the universe, okay, literally it could just be to yourself. You don't have to go to a therapist.
Yes.
No, for real, the abundance will come because it's like, okay, you human, I got you. Thanks for admitting your shadows, but you good and you're divinely protected. But keep that
owl,
Mother
honey.
of Swords by your
Get you
side.
an owl costume.
And then
coat.
the Ace of Wands. Wow. So wands are a representation of fire, as you can see by all of this fire energy, and you have a moon and Venus in Leo. So this is a representation of your Venus in Leo, the way that you love. The Ace is the #1 card of all the wands, and so it indicates. Now what I love about this is you can see the imagery of the 3 different flowers coming from this wand. 3. So it indicates that you are stepping into a leadership position where you have to define yourself as a lover. No one else but you. And I think you've already done that. Literally from the beginning, you're like, I know we went through stuff, but like, you have to have faith in me. And honestly, this card, it indicates that because you are doing the work or will continue to attempt to do the work of owning your shadows, because you're aware of this forceful energy that loves and protects you but also should not be messed with, then the best parts of you can emerge. Now, it's okay to sometimes digress. It's okay it's not a linear process. The Ace of Wands sometimes gets a little tired of all the expectations that are placed on it to always be this ideal lover. So being with having compassion for yourself on days where you're not shining as much or where you're not in the most loving mood is also going to help. But this shows that consistently, the future is bright for you as a lover. The future is bright for you as a family-oriented person. The future is bright for you as an influencer and leader in the world. But it hasn't always been bright. as long as you acknowledge the fact that it hasn't always been bright.
Definitely, it's been dark. You know, this definitely, and I feel like with the whole sun and all that, she definitely reflects like the sun for me too. Because I feel like once we got official and all of that, it's like, you know, it made things come in. Like it just brought a blessing to my life, you know? Like before I felt like I had it under control before, or I felt like because I had the freedom to just be me and I didn't have to answer to nobody, that I could do whatever I want, that I just was like, I got it. I'm good with life like this. I don't gotta worry about nothing. I'm working, like, you know what I'm saying? But then when it got to this level, like I felt the level up. Like even just as far as the comfort of just being me, whether I'm with her or not. It's like, I'm just extremely comfortable.
Wow. This is honestly reading goals, because you both were able to bring your own interpretations and understandings of yourselves in this. And you also, like I said at the beginning, are very compatible. Cancer man and Scorpio woman. It's a very powerful duo, and then the fire that exists in you helps make sure that you're not so lost in like the emotions of it all, that you go travel, have adventures, bring your family, definitely with the family, continue the adventures, and get clear that yes, eyes will continue to be on you, especially with all of that double Leo energy. So that fierce protective energy, the Mother of Swords, allow her to also take the lead. I know you're a natural leader with that Leo energy, but she is too. So that power couple where you're allies and not adversaries is key to maintaining the bliss.
Can you tell us something about our daughter?
When's her expected?
She's February 28th.
Okay.
If she's on time.
Oh, okay. So if
She's a Pisces.
that's the thing. So I'd rather we'll have to have a follow up after your incredible delivery that will go extremely well. And so if she's a Pisces, that adds to the water in your dynamic. You would be a family of all three water signs, literally the trilogy of Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer, which indicates that you'll have to like literally have like family therapy sessions where you ask yourself, so how are you feeling today? Like, how are you really feeling? You could ask yourselves this at dinner. It'll feel really healing for her to know that both of her parents. I do that
all the time. Sometimes I'll be like, how was your day? Like really, like what's going on in your world? Are you okay?
Very into me.
Like if I'm away from her for like a couple hours and I come back, and I'm like, what's up? Like what's going on?
Yeah.
So doing that with your daughter, even if she ends up being an Aquarius, if she comes earlier, because Aquarius is less emotional. If she's born anytime before February 19th, they are just more unconventional. So if she ends up being an Aquarius, she's just gonna challenge you guys to be less like traditional parents and more, what is she trying to teach us right now? Okay, like let's just observe and see. So either way, Aquarius or Pisces energy is the type of dynamic that will push you both to be more present. So because you both have fire in your charts, it's important to know like set literal times where it's just you, like no phones, no this, just family time. That's gonna be incredible for you. And also release your expectations of who you'd like her to be. Especially these 2020 kids. These 2020 kids, their levels of ascension will be really surprising, like genius babies. It's a new decade, so release your assumptions of what path you'd like her to do. She's really gonna show you, and she's gonna vibe off of your energy. You guys are gonna have a huge influence on her, but you wanna let her grow and surprise you with who she becomes.
So letting her listen to music right now in the stomach is
yeah.
good for her?
Of course. Singing to her as well. Reading her stories. You can already start her book collection.
Okay.
Doing like Reiki, because I know you're spiritual, so sound baths and massages, massaging and like speaking to her already. And
she moves a lot when I get massages. Or when I make him do this rub thing on me, she just like moves all over the place. No, that's very good.
The more contact she feels, because she already knows her
so
mom
even
and
if
dad's
it's on
voice.
my body, she feels it?
Yes, she feels it.
See, I told you.
Sorry, I didn't say.
He thinks I just be wanting back rubs for like no reason.
You wanted it before.
I mean, I do, but now we have more of a reason to give me back rubs.
Sorry.
I'm so excited for you.
Thank
I'm really
you.
honored and grateful I got to read.
Thank you.
your
I'm
charts.
honored. I'm Erica Mena. My birthday is November 8th, 1987. My sun is Scorpio. My moon is Gemini. And my Venus is Sagittarius.
Hello out there. My name is Safaree Lloyd Samuels the First. My birthday is July 4th. I'm from Brooklyn. My sun's a Cancer. My moon and Venus are Leo.
So for Erica to have a sun in Scorpio, moon in Gemini, and Venus in Sagittarius means that even though her essence is extreme passion, mystery, sex appeal, intuition, and loyalty, she also has a very fiery side of her. Her Venus in Sagittarius makes her optimistic and adventurous, a natural entrepreneur. And then her moon in Gemini allows her to see different perspectives. She's an intellectual, she's a great communicator, and the life of a party. For Safaree to be a Cancer with a moon and Venus in Leo means that even though the first impression people may get is that he is extremely popular, a leader, someone who calls the shots, charming and persuasive, he also, underneath the surface as a Cancer, has an immense sensitivity and an ability to use his intuition to navigate his life decisions. Cancer energy also indicates incredible family-oriented energy. So traditionally, Cancer and Scorpio are two of the most compatible signs of the zodiac, which makes Erica and Safaree really great matches. The one thing that they'll have to make sure of is that they value each other's independence and support each other even when they're not side by side. The incredible fiery energy of their Venus placements means that their sex life and adventure life is poppin', and that they have the ability to make up more quickly than if they didn't have as much fire in their charts.
We do. We make up so
I don't
quick.
hold grudges. That's why I ain't walking around with an attitude all day like a damn fool.
Well, our sex is great.
Sorry. Hey yo, it's Safaree. Listen, thanks for watching, and you are now tuned in with the brand new Love and Hip Hop YouTube. Alright? Subscribe. Click it. There's a button right there. Hit it right there and subscribe. Alright? Shit!